people lose millions of naira just because they don't have an idea of what I'm going to show you. They don't know the process of buying land here in Port Harcourt. Now, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step method that I use to guide my clients to make sure they invest their money and get their value without losing 1 naira, just for free. By the way, my name is Uchechi. I've been helping many people buy safe properties in Port Harcourt here for the past 5 years, and it has been a successful ride. And let's talk about where to buy. In Port Harcourt, there are many locations. We have the Hills, we have Emeka, we have Igorita, we have GRA, both old and new. We also have the Obirekwere Airport Road, New Airport Road, and then we have the Transmodi axis, which is an emergency city. We also have the Oyibo axis. All of these places have their own peculiarities. As a property investor, you might be particular about a particular location for reasons that are best known to you. But today, we're going to tell you which areas are better. In considering the area you want to buy, the areas such as the GRA, Peter de Road, Paul Pay State, the Frankwodi area, the Stadium Road, the GU Road, that is the News Road, and New Airport Road. Properties in this neighborhood are usually high. They are mainly premium properties, and so the prices are usually high. Now, if you're going towards the Omawa, the Greater area, the Isoko area, and Eneka and its environs, properties in these neighborhoods are slightly cheaper because these are emerging and developing cities. But there's a word of caution when you're buying in this neighborhood. Most of the people in these neighborhoods are natives. So the possibility of having a property that is in dispute is high in those neighborhoods because there's a lot of land disputes, just like you have Omanile in Lagos and demolition in Abuja. We also have the land grabbing issue here in Port Harcourt. For example, a family member might sell property to you. You find out that that property has been sold by another family member to another person. And so you'll be in and out of court. So you need to be careful, verify, find out which family, the actual family that owns this property, and verify correctly so that you know that you're not making a mistake. Let's talk about the documents that are involved. Like in other places, you have C of O, that is certificate of occupancy, you have a deed of conveyance, you have a governor's consent, you have a decision, and all of them. And all of these are actually sufficient in most places. But if you're buying around the GRA area, the Pittsburgh area, the Strathmore area, and the half of the city of Port Harcourt, a deed of conveyance might not be sufficient. It might go beyond that. You might be looking for C of O. And if it is a C of O, and in some places like GRA, somebody that has a governor's consent might have an upper hand than you. So you've got to be very, very careful. So let's talk about the acquisition process or the steps involved. It starts with an inquiry. So you have a property, you show interest in the property based on the price or the location, and it caught your attention. So you begin to make inquiries. 2 ways to go about it. So if it's advertised by a real estate company or developer, you can walk into their office, ask all the necessary questions you want to ask. Then you go to
Ministry of Land and Survey.
Go there. Why do you need to go there? You go to the shop and make sure that this land is not under government interest or free from encumbrances. It's not under government acquisition. That is why you're doing this. So you make sure that the land is also free from any litigation, because a lot of properties are in disputes. Some of them have pending court cases. You want to be sure, make sure that all of these things are done properly. One of my clients process and then went ahead to buy the property without asking the right questions. He found out that the property he bought was already sold to another person because he bought from the locals. And under the guise of someone he knows, and today he's still fighting to regain his money 3 years down the line. He didn't know that the land that he bought had already been sold by another family member who also had a stake in that property. So that is one of the dangers of buying blindly, especially in those remote areas like Oman. So one has to be careful. This process is rigorous, as they may be, but they will save you a lot of heartache. It will save you your hard-earned money. Because in the long run, you would have avoided all the mistakes that will cost you your money. A physical inspection is not out of place at all. So especially for real estate companies, applying to go for physical site inspection, you see the property you want to buy, you see the boundary markers, you see infrastructure. Those are the markers, the signals to tell you that this property is verified, that all the due diligence that you're supposed to do between the landowner, the original landowners, and you, the buyer. The real estate company have done all of that. They've taken that stress off your shoulder by making sure that these areas are all verified. And yours is just to buy. But it doesn't stop you from doing your own independent checks, going to the land registry, consulting a qualified surveyor to verify this property, the survey plan, and everything about this property. They are all there. So that make sure that the property is free from government acquisition or interest in future. So after the process, you get to the stage of getting expression of interest from, as some people may call it. So you fill your form. Make sure before you deposit the 1 naira, make sure that you understand the terms and conditions of the transaction. Are there hidden charges? Because there are what we call development levies, which are not captured on the tag, because the money you're seeing on the tag might not be the exact money you're going to be paying. That might be the base that will attract you to the property. So when you pay that initial one, other ones will begin to come. And by this time, you're already in. It might be difficult for you. Sometimes people end up losing their money because the terms and conditions would not make it possible for you to retrieve your money at this point. You're already roped in the process. So make sure you get the details of every financial involvement or implication involved in purchasing that property. From the actual price of the property, the documentation process, the survey, even the development fee of the estate in time to come. So if you're satisfied with the process, you can now go ahead to fill the form and then make your payments. And in time, physical allocation time comes, you allocated your plots, then the documentation process starts. Your document will be ready and you'll be given your document. You take possession. If it's a house, you move in, you get your key, and then you move into your apartment. If it's a land you want to start developing, fine. If it's not, you're not ready, you just do your door fencing and then wait for when development will start in earnest. You start, but you would have gotten your property first hand. So these are the processes that I go with my client to save them the heartache of losing their money and then save them from stress of moving back and forth. If you're seriously considering buying land in Port Harcourt, send me a message now. Let me help you out. To be sure that what you bought is not a future problem, but you bought a peace of mind.